In a small African village called Zuberi, life was very hard. The sun was always hot, the ground dry, and food was never enough. People lived simple lives, farming and selling small things in the market. In one small mud house lived a young man, named Kofi, his wife Abina and their two baby girls, twin daughters named Zuri and Zara. Kofi loved his family very much. Even though they were poor, he always tried his best. Every morning before the sun rose, he would go to the fields. He would dig, plant, and sweat under the burning sun. When evening came, he would carry heavy firewood home. He did everything for his family. But Abina was not happy. She wanted more. She wanted beautiful clothes, gold jewelry, a big house, and easy life. Every day she complained. "Kofi, I am tired of suffering like this," she would say. "My love," Kofi would answer softly, "better days will come. We only need to be patient and work hard." But Abena had no patience left. She looked at their small dusty house and the empty food basket. She looked at the thin clothes on her babies. She saw Kofi's rough hands and torn clothes, and she felt shame. One evening, the sky was dark, and the wind blew strongly. The twins were lying on the mat crying softly for milk. Kofi held one baby and tried to calm her. Abina stood in the corner, packing her small bag. Her face was cold like a stone. "Abina, what are you doing?" Kofi asked with fear in his voice. I'm leaving, Kofi," she said without looking at him. "Please don't go," Kofi begged. "The girls need their mother. I need you. Don't leave us." Abina shook her head. "I did not marry you to suffer, Kofi. You promised me a good life. Look at us. Look at these babies. I am tired of this poverty. I want a better life." Kofi's eyes filled with tears. He held his daughters close to his chest. "Abina, we are a family. We can face these troubles together. Don't let the girls grow without a mother." But Abina's heart had already turned hard. She zipped her small bag and walked to the door. Before leaving, she said coldly, "Do whatever you want with them. They are your problem now. I don't care if they live or die." The door slammed shut. The wind howled through the cracks of the small house. Kofi stood there in silence, feeling his heart break into pieces. His babies cried louder, as if they knew their mother had left forever. Kofi gently rocked them in his arms. His tears dropped onto their tiny faces. "Don't cry, my angels," he whispered, his voice shaking. "Your father is here. I may not have money, but I promise you, I will give you my love. I will never leave you." That night, Kofi sat on the floor, holding his daughters until they fell asleep. The moonlight shone through the broken window. The house was quiet, but his heart was heavy. The next morning, Kofi woke up early. His stomach was empty, but he had no time to feel hungry. His daughters needed food. He tied them carefully on his back with an old cloth and walked to the village market. At the market, he found an old wheelbarrow for hire. He started pushing heavy loads for people. Some people looked at him with pity. Some laughed at him. "See the man who enjoyed himself at night but cannot feed his children," one woman shouted. But Kofi kept silent. He only cared about feeding his girls. As the sun set, Kofi returned home with a few coins. He bought some maize flour and milk for the babies. That night he cooked porridge and fed them gently. They smiled as their tiny stomachs became full. Sitting on the floor beside his sleeping daughters, Kofi looked up to the sky and whispered, "God, I am weak, but you are strong. Please help me raise these girls." In his heart, he made a promise. He would fight for his daughters no matter what. He would work, he would sacrifice. One day he believed his girls would grow strong and make him proud. The days passed slowly for Kofi. Each morning before the sun rose, he woke up, tied his twin daughters to his back and walked to the market. He worked all day, pushing the heavy wheelbarrow, carrying bags for strangers and cleaning stalls. His body was weak, but his heart was strong. The villagers watched him every day. Some whispered behind his back. "Look at that poor man," they said. "He has no wife, no help, and still carries those babies everywhere." Others laughed at him. When he was enjoying at night, he didn't think of tomorrow. Now he suffers. But not everyone was cruel. One kind old woman, Mama Ayo, often stopped him at the market. She would give him fruits or coins. "You are a good father, Kofi," she said softly. "God sees your struggle. One day your pain will turn to joy." Kofi always thanked her with tears in his eyes. "May God bless you, Mama Ayo." At night, when he returned home tired and sore, he fed the twins their small meal of porridge. Then he would sing them soft songs until they fell asleep. Their little smiles gave him hope to continue. Every time Kofi looked at Zuri and Zara, he felt strength in his heart. They were his light in the darkness. Their tiny hands touching his face made him forget the hunger in his belly. As the months turned to years, the twins grew. They learned to walk, to talk, and to laugh. They were happy children, full of life, even though they had little. Kofi did everything for them. He taught them how to pray, how to greet elders with respect, and how to always speak the truth. He told them stories at night, stories of brave kings, kind queens, and warriors who never gave up. One day, when the girls were 6 years old, something special happened. A man named Mr. Kamau came to the market. He was a teacher at a nearby school. He saw Kofi carrying his daughters while working and was touched. "Why don't these girls go to school?" Mr. Kamau asked. Kofi looked down in shame. "I have no money, sir. I can barely feed them." Mr. Kamau smiled kindly. "Education is important. I will help you. The school has a program for poor children. Bring them tomorrow." Kofi's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you, sir. May God bless you." The next day, Kofi dressed his daughters in their best clothes, old but clean. He held their small hands tightly as they walked to the school. When the twins entered the classroom, they smiled brightly. Their eyes were full of excitement. From that day, they began their learning journey. Kofi continued working every day, but now, when he returned home, he listened to his daughters read letters and count numbers. His heart was full of pride. "Baba, today I learned to write my name," Zuri said one evening. "And I learned to count to 100, Zara added, jumping with joy. Kofi hugged them tightly. "You are both shining stars. One day, you will be great women." As years passed, the twins worked very hard in school. They always finished first in their class. Teachers praised them for their discipline and kindness. The villagers who once laughed at Kofi now watched with respect. "Look at Kofi's daughters. They are growing into smart young women," they whispered. But life was still not easy. Kofi's body grew weaker from years of hard labor. Sometimes he coughed badly at night, but he never let his daughters see his pain. One evening, as the stars filled the sky, Kofi sat outside with his daughters. The cool breeze blew softly. "My precious girls," he said, "I have nothing but my love for you. I may not live long, but promise me you will stay strong, study hard, and always help others." "We promise, Baba," the twins said together. "We will make you proud." That night, as Kofi watched his daughters sleep, he whispered again to the stars, "God, thank you for giving me these angels. Please guide them." The road was still long, but Kofi believed one day his daughters would rise high. He had planted the seeds with his sweat and tears. Now he prayed to see them grow. Years passed, and the twin girls Zuri and Zara continued to grow. They were now 18 years old, beautiful, respectful, and very smart. The whole village spoke about them. "Look at Kofi's daughters," people whispered. "He raised them well. They are very intelligent." The girls had finished secondary school with top marks. They both dreamed of becoming doctors. They wanted to help people like their father had helped them. They applied to the best university in the city, and soon, they both received acceptance letters. When the letters arrived, Kofi could hardly believe it. His hands shook as he opened the envelope. His eyes filled with tears as he read the words. "Zuri and Zara have been accepted to study medicine." That night, the small house was full of laughter and dancing. The twins hugged their father tightly. "Baba, we made it," Zuri said. "Yes, Baba," Zara added. "One day you will Sit in a big hospital, and we will call you the father of 2 doctors. Kofi smiled, but deep inside his heart was heavy. He was happy and proud, but he also knew a painful truth. He had no money to send them to the university. That night, after the girls had gone to sleep, Kofi sat alone. He stared at the flickering lamp and whispered to himself, "I worked all my life for this moment, but now I have nothing to give. How will I pay for their school fees? How will I pay for their books, their rent, their food?" His tears rolled down his cheeks. For many years he had stayed strong, but that night, his heart broke. Still, he was not a man who gave up easily. The next morning, Kofi woke up early. He put on his best old shirt and walked to the house of a rich man in the village, Chief Aid. Chief Aid was sitting on his big chair when Kofi arrived. He looked at Kofi with cold eyes. "What do you want, poor man?" Chief Aid asked. Kofi knelt on the ground and spoke softly. "Please, sir, I beg you. My daughters have been accepted to the university to study medicine, but I have no money. Please help me. I will work for you as your servant. I will clean, wash, cook, anything. Just help my daughters." Chief Aid laughed loudly. "Medicine? Do you know how much that costs? I will not waste my money on your children." Kofi lowered his head in shame. "Please, sir. They have worked so hard. They deserve a chance." But Chief Aid waved his hand. "Leave my house now before I call my guards." Kofi stood up slowly and walked away, his heart heavy, but he did not stop. He went to many other rich men in the village. Each time he knelt and begged. Each time they said no. Some even laughed at him. At night, Kofi returned home tired, but he did not show his sadness to his daughters. Instead, he smiled and listened to their dreams. "We will help poor people, Baba," Zuri said. "We will build a clinic for the village," Zara added. Kofi nodded, forcing a smile. "Yes, my daughters, you will help many people." Days passed, and Kofi continued searching for help, but no one was willing. Finally, after many days, he could no longer hide the truth. One evening, he called his daughters to sit with him. His face was sad, and his voice was weak. "My daughters, you have always made me proud. You have worked hard, and your dreams are beautiful. But I am sorry. I have no money to send you to the university." The twins looked at each other, then hugged their father tightly. "Baba, you have done everything for us," Zara said softly. "Yes, Baba," Zuri added. "You gave us love, food, and a good life. You worked day and night for us. We are not angry." Kofi tried to stay strong, but tears rolled down his face. "I wanted to give you the world, but I have nothing." That night, after the girls went to bed, Kofi knelt by his bed and prayed. "God, I have done my best. Now I leave everything in your hands." Unknown to Kofi, the twins were awake, listening. Their hearts broke as they heard their father crying, but they were strong girls. Just like their father, they wiped their tears and whispered to each other. "We must do something," Zara said. "Yes, we cannot give up," Zuri replied. "We will find a way." The next morning, the twins made a decision. They went to the university and asked to delay their admission for 1 year. Then, they went out into the city looking for work. At first, many doors closed in their faces. Some people tried to take advantage of their situation, but the girls stayed strong and refused to lose their dignity. Finally, they found work in a small restaurant. The owner, Madam Grace, was kind. "You girls are respectful and hardworking. You can start tomorrow." The twins thanked her with big smiles. Every day they served food, cleaned tables, and greeted customers with warm smiles. They saved every coin, dreaming of the day they could go to school. At night, they counted their savings and prayed with their father. "God, please bless the work of our hands," they prayed. The road was long, but they refused to give up. Months passed as Zuri and Zara worked at the small restaurant. They woke up early every morning, helped prepare the food, and welcomed customers with bright smiles. Though they were often tired and their feet ached, they never complained. Every night after work, they walked home with small envelopes of money. Their father, Kofi, waited at home to greet them with open arms. "Well done, my daughters," he would say with pride. "One day, your hard work will bear fruit." At night, the three of them would sit on the small mat, count the money, and pray together. "God, please bless our little savings," Kofi always prayed. As days turned into months, their savings slowly grew. The twins remained focused, never wasting a coin. Many customers liked the girls because they were polite and honest. Some even left them generous tips, which helped them save faster. One day, something unexpected happened that changed their lives forever. A wealthy businessman named Mr. Mensa visited the restaurant. He was passing through the town and stopped by to eat. When Zuri served him, she greeted him politely with a big smile. "Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to our restaurant." Mr. Mensa looked at her kindly. "Thank you, young lady. You have a very nice smile." As he ate, he noticed how hardworking both girls were. They moved quickly, served customers with respect, and helped each other like true partners. When Mr. Mensa finished his meal, he called both sisters to his table. "You two work very hard," he said. "Are you both the owners of this place?" "No, sir," Zara replied. "We only work here. We are saving money to pay for our university." Mr. Mensa was surprised. "University? What do you want to study?" "Medicine, sir," Zuri answered. "We want to become doctors and help poor people like our father helped us." Mr. Mensa's eyes grew wide. He was deeply touched. "Where is your father now?" "He is waiting for us at home, sir," Zara said. Mr. Mensa paused for a moment, thinking deeply. "Tell your father to come here tomorrow morning. I want to meet him." The girls nodded happily. "Yes, sir. Thank you, sir." That night, they rushed home and told their father everything. Kofi was surprised but hopeful. "Maybe God has heard our prayers," he whispered. The next morning, Kofi wore his cleanest old shirt and walked with his daughters to the restaurant. Mr. Mensa was already there, waiting. When Kofi entered, he respectfully greeted the man. "Good morning, sir. I am Kofi, father of Zuri and Zara." Mr. Mensa stood up and shook Kofi's hand warmly. "Sir, you are a great father. Your daughters have told me your story. I am deeply moved by your sacrifice and their hard work. I want to help." Kofi's eyes widened. "Sir, help?" "Yes," Mr. Mensa continued. "I will pay for all their university fees, their books, their living expenses, everything. They deserve a chance." For a moment, Kofi could not speak. His mouth opened, but no words came out. Tears filled his eyes. "Sir, I don't know how to thank you." Mr. Mensa smiled kindly. "Just promise me that when your daughters become doctors, they will help others the same way you raised them." Kofi nodded quickly. "I promise, sir. I promise." The twins hugged their father tightly, crying tears of joy. "Thank you, Baba," Zuri whispered. "Your sacrifices were not in vain," Zara added. Soon after, Zuri and Zara started university. They studied hard, knowing the value of every single lesson. Mr. Mensa kept his word, supporting them like a second father. Kofi continued to pray for them every night, thanking God for the miracle. Years later, both sisters graduated as medical doctors. They returned to their village and built a big clinic with the help of Mr. Mensa. They offered free treatment to poor people who could not afford hospital bills. People from far villages came to see the two young doctors who once worked as waitresses. Kofi was now an old man, but his heart was full. One day, as he sat under the big tree outside the clinic, his daughters came to him wearing their white coats. "Baba, today is a special day," Zuri said. "Yes, Baba," Zara added. "Today we are officially opening our hospital." The villagers gathered, singing and dancing. They praised Kofi. "You raised two daughters with nothing but love and sacrifice. You are a great man, Kofi," one elder said. As Kofi looked at the beautiful hospital, at the happy faces, and at his two daughters standing proudly, his heart whispered a prayer. "Thank you, God. My tears, my sweat, and my prayers were not wasted." And so the poor man whose wife abandoned him and who carried his twin daughters on his back lived to see them rise as great women, not just doctors, but blessings to their people.